Hey everyone, I hope week 2 is wrapping up well for you. I just wanted to take some time to review expectations for week 3. This week, there will be a lot of focus on Bowen Family Systems Therapy and genograms. Genograms, in particular, are an extremely useful tool and sometimes necessary tool when working with families. And this week, you will be also submitting your family of origin genogram drafts. So it'll be a great way to kind of read about them and know about their importance and their usefulness and then practice it yourself. Um, so through the reading this week, you will learn about Bowen Family Systems, which is an intergenerational approach, hence how genograms will be useful. Through the reading in the Nichols book, you should learn how to provide a thorough assessment and intervention through this theory. So here, in addition, in the required readings, you'll find the standard symbols for genograms. Be sure to look them over and print them or save them to your computer because you will definitely need them for future reference. I know for myself, I still have my printout of the symbols from my education, which I do sometimes reference and use. In addition to the required reading, you'll be choosing 2 of the optional articles here to read as well. And there will be a discussion regarding the articles. So, you can be sure you can just pick one that seems like it might interest you more. As usual, it might be useful to download and save them for future reference as well. So in terms of the media, please watch the demonstration of a course of therapy using the multi-generational approach. I hope the video will allow you to kind of look at what you learned in the readings and see it come to life and further your understanding of it. In addition, you're only going to be required to watch this particular section of the How to Make a Genogram video. Again, this will be useful just like the symbols article. It'll be useful for when you are creating one yourself. I actually just use a genogram in practice while working with one of the families that I work with, and it was very powerful. It's both informative for me and helps me kind of keep track of different interactions, and helpful for the client to see either the representation of their family on paper or even just to process, the generational factors within, how they got to where they are now. For some reason, I had gotten away from using them for some time, and this was a really great reminder of how powerful they really can be within treatment. So for your first discussion this week, you will be writing about the Bowen interventions. You'll be using one of the 2 articles that you chose to read this week and identifying 2 or more key points or takeaway points. Please identify the article that you are choosing at the top of the post. As many of you will be likely writing about different articles, this will just kind of help provide a little bit more clarity for myself as well as your classmates. For the second part of the post, we will again be using the case of Anita, right here, the Widener Social Work Shared case, and answering these 2 questions. Think of the first question as kind of the assessment part of the Bowen approach, and then the second question is clearly the intervention part. Please make sure that it is focused particularly on Bowen. There are a variety of different interventions that could be used in this case, but for the purpose of the discussion, we're focused on specifically assessment and intervention through the Bowen approach. You will then need to respond to at least one classmate with what you learned and what you might add. The post will require a citation, so please don't forget. And the initial post is due by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. and the response post by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. The second discussion this week will be related to the simulation of therapy video that you watched. Please answer these 3 questions here regarding the video. You can focus purely on the video for the post, or you can relate it to the reading if you feel like it would be helpful in answering the questions. Either way, please be sure to provide a citation. You're not required to have a response this week, which is different than previous weeks. Though it might be helpful to just read through some of the posts from your classmates to further your understanding and learning. And, if you choose to, you can feel free to respond as well. The posts for this discussion are due by Thursday at 11:59 p.m., just as all of the other initial posts are due by Thursday. This one is as well. I just wanted to make sure that that was clear, given that you weren't actually required a response prompt. Moving on, we have our family therapy theory grid as usual. This week will be on Bowen Family Systems, of course. There's a great deal of Bowen content which can be used within the grid, so hopefully you don't have a hard time at all answering some of these questions. And as usual, upload the continuing document, including the week 1 and 2 content as well. Also, don't forget to use APA format and include in-text citations as well as references. You don't need to use, the typical organization of APA, such as a title page and such, but I am looking for the in-text citations and references. And this section of the grid is due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Lastly, the first draft of your family of origin genogram is due this week on Sunday. For this, you'll find all of the week 3 content very useful, especially the symbols guide and the video on genograms. The main thing that I am looking for with the genogram is accurate use of symbols and, the fact that it'll be 3 generations. If for some reason you are unable to include 3 generations, please reach out to me ahead of time so we can discuss and just kind of look at what other options might be for you. The way you will be submitting your genogram is by drawing it out on paper, then taking a picture of it and uploading it. So you are not required to figure out symbols on the computer, which I don't even know if that's possible. I'll then be prioritizing grading this assignment so that I can make sure that you have timely feedback for the assignment and you can be ready for your family of origin paper that's due at the end of week 4. So even though I'm discussing this last, I would also recommend prioritizing this assignment for yourself as well, just to be sure that it's submitted in time and I can provide the feedback so that you can be on track for your family of origin paper. And you can see the rubric here. It's pretty much what I just described. Just looking, the only thing that I didn't mention is neatness and organization. Just making sure that you have all the components of the genogram, such as the title and the key. And again, hand-drawn, not computer generated. Hopefully that makes it actually a little easier for you. Yeah, so as usual, please reach out with any questions, whether it be regarding understanding the content or the assignments, and I hope everyone has a great week.